Season 2 is done, but Season 3 is here. Today, we talk about the things that we missed while we were on our break. Let's go. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Commanding Magic. It is Season 3, Episode 1. Travis and Brandon coming back at you, giving it another shot, a brand new season. Brandon, what's up?
Yep. Not a whole lot. Just hanging out. not been doing a lot. Just taking a break.
Honestly, I part of me wanted to start Season 3 earlier, but then I started playing World of Warcraft again.
That's my fault.
It is your fault.
All mine.
Yeah, we've been going pretty hard, but whatever, man. We play a lot, and I've been having a lot of fun. I gotta say,
Yeah,
it's like kind of the tail end of Legion. I'm not really prepping for Battle for Azeroth or anything. I'm just playing the game, trying to do the current content while it's current, except I'll probably never ever do heroics or mythics or anything. It's whatever. It's fun. I don't care.
yeah.
I'm having a good time.
I'm just trying to get what I can get this expansion before it's too late.
And boy, have you been getting while the getting's good.
Yep.
So many appearances, so many artifact appearances from those stupid mage towers.
Anybody that doesn't know, it's current content and it's solo content, so you don't have to depend on anybody else but yourself and your own skills, right? So the most you could do is overgear it, and that's it. And
Ooh.
they're not hard. They're not easy.
I've completed 2 mage towers, and I probably have like 100 tries between the 2 of them.
Let me just say there's 36 to get done, and I have 13 left to do.
Jeez. It got to the point where it was like every few days I'd get 2 or 3 text messages with pictures of a new appearance. I'm like, good.
Well, you see,
good Lord.
you can only work on them for 3 days every week.
Yeah.
Or 3 days and then 7 days, and then it's back up.
Yeah.
So
has anything else been keeping you busy?
Work, baby.
Work, baby.
Work babies. Yep. yes, actually work babies.
People too tend to act like babies at work.
Yep. And then I can say it now as opposed to before, since I couldn't say anything before, but we are having another baby.
Another baby.
So we'll see if I can even still do content here in a couple months.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Well, congrats on that anyway, because that's still pretty cool. That's pretty exciting.
Thanks.
Other than playing WoW and just doing normal day-to-day stuff, the time is getting closer and closer to where Anna and I close on our new house.
Yay.
For those of you that don't know, we're apartment living right now, and we had a house. We had a house built here in Colorado Springs, so. So yeah, we're just getting closer to that, and there is a lot of stress that comes with it, but also kind of a lot of hype the closer it gets,
Yeah.
And once it's all over, I'm sure it's going to be awesome. So.
Yeah, and you're going to have that sweet basement where you could do anything you want.
I know. We want to turn it into a studio for
Yeah.
recording and photography and stuff.
But then I have to move to Colorado.
Oh, no. But there's been a lot going on in the Magic the Gathering community since we've been gone. And we haven't even really been gone that long.
No, and I think we should probably address it that we're probably going to make how we end seasons at the beginning of the year a thing, and then taking a couple months break a thing, because it's nice.
There's plenty of content creators that go and make quality content all the time. Boy, how do they do it? A lot of dedication goes into that, I gotta say. Content creators that do way more than us too, but we do what we can. Sure. So this episode is just going to be kind of a little bit of a cliff notes of some of the things that we wanted to talk about, or that we would have made episodes about in the past, but never got around to for one World of Warcraft or another. Um,
Yes.
so I guess the first thing that really kind of comes to mind for me is Masters 25.
Hmm.
How do you feel about Masters 25?
I mean, it was okay. I mean, I'm not buying anything from it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of over Masters sets in general, and
Yeah, a little bit.
it's been that way for a while now. There was that funny incident with Rudy from Alpha Investments where he had two booster boxes that had essentially identical
Hmm.
rares and mythics to each other. I think there was one mythic difference or something like that.
I'm gonna say one thing. I love the fact that there watermarks on everything, and it was the set symbol from where the cards came from.
Oh yeah,
I love
definitely.
that.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I'm just gonna go ahead and show um, the Mythic spoiler page. I'm not really gonna necessarily go over a ton of the cards, like just can touch on them, but just be mindful of the symbols that exists in that are like
Hmm.
watermarks on the text boxes.
But like, Jace, obviously
Yeah,
one
of
of the
course.
most iconic cards from Zendikar, which I just noticed it doesn't have a watermark in it because of the art.
Oh
But
yeah,
then you
you're right.
go down here to Tree of Redemption,
Oh gosh.
and is that really like the card you remember from original Innistrad?
I mean, I think that was just put in there for draft purposes with
Right.
Triskaidekaphobia, but
Right.
I don't know. Like, I mean, there was some cool reprints. Don't get me wrong. Imperial
Yeah.
Recruiter, like reprinted for the first time ever outside of that Judge foil. I'm pretty sure, right?
Hmm.
It was in what P3K, right? And
Yep.
then Judge foil, and now this. Um,
I
but
mean, you can get your first foils of Magus of the Wheel, so
which
that's
is
exciting.
yeah, which is pretty cool. And then what I've noticed as well is just a lot of like not I don't know. It's a good set for commander players. It's a good set. I'm
Right.
sure it makes made some things more available for modern and legacy players. But all in all, it's just I don't hate it, right? Because it's cool because of what it's just making cards more available. Some like the more harder to get cards. A lot of like cards like for example like Simian Spirit Guide, which I'm pretty sure we're going up in price a little bit. We have new art for Red and Blue Elemental Blast, which both look really good. Um, Curse Catcher finally got a reprint, which is something that people have been asking about for a long time. I think Reef Worm got it that has its first foil because it was originally printed in a commander set. Yeah, you can see
Yeah.
it back there.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, so it's made stuff a lot more available for players. But at the end of the day, it's not the type of thing that like the content creator in me wants to come out. You know, I want interesting
Right.
stuff to come out. This is kind of like the expected thing. You know, like oh, what new reprints are we gonna get this time? But
I like how Nyx Fleece Ram is in there.
right, like I mean, I guess you know it's funny because that card has
It
come
was
up
a
a couple
tournament
times.
winning card.
Nyx
I
Fleece
mean,
Ram,
it
freed
won the tournament that it was in.
freed from the real combo enabler.
Yeah, I know. Hey, I ran that in a Negastar deck
Yeah,
with something else that it specifically comboed with. So,
there's a lot of
but
things that can combo with.
it's just
Nettle
some
Sentinel
fun
reprint.
stuff.
I love Nettle Sentinel. That card's sweet. But anyway, yeah. But I think that it was not really a well received set though, because I think a lot of people are just sick of the master sets.
Yeah, I mean, specifically because they cost $10 a pack, which is a little. It's getting tiring.
Yeah, this what set? No, it was the last master set that had the whole like Walmart
Iconic
Target.
masters,
Yeah. Oh yeah. What? I totally forgot that that set even existed.
even though you got to open it the first time.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, and does the same ring true with these? These are available in like big box retailers?
I'm not sure.
Um,
I don't know.
yeah, and there's a whole nother controversy behind that type of thing
Hmm.
because of because now that the big box stores have them, it like hurts like smaller stores, right? Just like actual hobby shops, or at least that's what people say. That's what
Yeah,
they all say.
that's
Um,
what they say.
but
But
I don't I haven't really done too terribly much research into that part of it. But yeah, Masters 25. There you go. There's something else that we learned about, and this was just recently. Brandon sent it to me in text. And I can't remember what exactly the text was. It was something like, it was like, "Oh my God, need," or like, "I need this in my life," or something. What was that, Brandon?
I don't. Oh, it was the Jace spellbook.
Jace?
Signature spellbook Jace. It's a new thing.
A new
that
thing.
They're starting. There's a lot of new things that Wizards is doing this year.
Which is a thing to, which is almost a topic to be discussed on its own.
Right.
Just a lot of new supplemental product, and I'm kind of wondering why, but I kind of get it too, because it's like, I don't know, like, how do I explain this? Like, it's like toys, right?
Right.
Always making new toys and like variants on toys. It's like color, like for like, let's say for example, Transformers.
Yep.
There's always color variants and con exclusives of like the same Transformer, right? But it's just a different color. But that makes it, that still makes it more desirable, and that's what's happening here.
Yeah.
Because if you look, boy, the artwork on these cards.
I mean, some of them are just artworks that have been used, like Counterspell and just Bellerin. But that Mystical Tutor artwork, oh.
Even the Blue Elemental Blast, like, just, man. And just the card layout looks great.
Right.
And it's got an MSRP of $19.99. And I mean, you know, if I can get a hold of one, of course I will. Just from a collector's point of view, because these cards are beautiful.
Right.
These look great.
And it's got a chance to, or not a chance, but it'll have these cards, but one of the cards in there will be a foil version.
Oh, really? They're not all foil? I did not know that.
Nope.
Well, that's a little bit more disappointing now.
Well,
I didn't know that.
For people who just want everything to be foil.
I do. I mean, for a product like this, that's, I mean, even just like look at the packaging. Like the packaging looks really, really nice. It just looks nice and slick. I just kind of feel like this would be that type of product that would have everything foil. But I suppose I stand corrected.
I think you might be looking at a bigger price tag.
Yeah, I mean that's totally fair. So, I mean, this. I should have done that. Yeah, so that does keep the price down. That's a totally fair point. And I guess what it also does is, since it's not like guaranteed, that it makes. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe that makes because you said one of them will be foil or chance to be foil.
I think there's 9 cards in this, 8 or 9. And you will get all of those.
9 cards.
And then one of them will be foil.
So
either that, an extra one that's a copy of one of these, and that'll be foil.
It says will contain 9 cards, 8 cards, and a foil version of one of those 8 cards at random. Okay, so it's an 8 card set, and you get an extra one, and it's foil.
Yeah.
So, that's actually a little interesting, because I feel like what that's going to cause is like the one that's like really desirable, whichever one it may be, whether it's the Mystical Tutor or the nice Jace Bellerin or whatever.
Or the Brainstorm.
Yeah, so perhaps that's gonna like drive the price. That's gonna drive the price of that one foil up even more than it normally would if not all of the cards were foil.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
It's weird. It's all really strange, but I still would like to get a set.
Who would you like to see a signature spellbook of?
Nissa.
Nissa.
For sure.
Chandra would be too easy.
I'm sure that they're probably all going to get them eventually, right?
Probably.
The way that this looks to me, it looks like it's set up to be something that like once a year or twice a year, you know, we get.
And obviously they start with the poster boy.
Yeah, they do.
So.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, as we've learned from Ixalan, Jace, you know, isn't as one-dimensional as we think.
Yeah.
You know. So.
So the next big thing, and probably this just happened a couple weeks ago, I got a message from Colin, and he said something along the lines of, "Hey, did you see that the whole set of Dominaria got leaked?" And I was like, "What?"
Yeah, and I passed out because of something, and I come back and I'm still on Discord with Travis. He's like, and Travis is like, "It's happening, Brandon, it's happening, help, it's happening."
Yeah,
Like,
so
what? I was asleep for like a half hour.
and it's actually pretty interesting because we're gonna be doing a set review here eventually, yes. But I mean, if you just take a glance as I scroll here through Mythic, we have some of the cards that have already had prints, right, with like the original art for not original, but
Right.
just art for Siege Gang Commander, like Skizik, Verdant Force, Thorn Elementals, things like that. But a lot of these cards just have this generic looking image here.
Which is just the set symbol.
Yeah, and look at this is we have a lot. There's a lot here. I don't think I haven't looked through and read every single card. I've kind of
No,
I
I
I
haven't
know
either.
some of the stuff because I just kind of looking for certain things, things that would stand out to me naturally.
Right.
But like I said, there's going to be an official set review by us for this eventually. Um, but
I will say this right now. And they've already confirmed that this is like a legendary theme set,
oh yeah,
and it
you
is
can totally tell.
very exciting
You
for
can
Commander.
totally tell if once we actually get into looking at that stuff. Um, so, oh my god, I'm breaking
But I've not looked
everything.
at hardly anything except for the official spoilers
Yeah,
because I do more with the art.
sure.
Like I like thinking about the cards and how their art interacts with the cards. And I like seeing pretty stuff, you know?
Yeah. So tell us about the leak. What happened?
So just before Masters 25 came out, Wizards was posting on their articles on all the different like countries' websites
Mm-hmm.
the Masters 25 set like document thing that had all the updates and set rules and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the Chinese website accidentally uploaded the Dominaria one a whole month and a half early.
Right.
Probably even close to 2 months early. I don't remember how long ago this happened, but and I don't know how long it was up either. But by the time we found out about it, Mythic was already up and had all this stuff
Going
on there.
ham with it.
Yeah. So
I can't help but feel like with the amount of leaks that we're getting that it's just happening on purpose, man. People are just saying to themselves, you know what, we're not waiting. The people
right.
deserve to know. And I mean, there's like two sides to that coin, right? But it just seems like at
Right.
the rate that it's happening, it's like one time we get a whole sheet stolen, and it gets leaked that way. And this time, this website accidentally uploads it on the internet or whatever. And I'm pretty sure that same type of thing has happened before. Surely it has. I don't know, man.
But Watsy, probably promptly took it down.
Um,
And instead of letting people translate and get bad translations of cards and just sitting on it waiting,
mm-hmm,
for the official thing and just pretending it didn't happen, they
mm-hmm,
were like, look, we know what happened. Here's our plan of what we're going to do. We're still going to go ahead with official spoilers
mm-hmm.
and we're going to tell you guys this. We're going to give you the actual release notes in whatever language you speak so you can have official stuff so you're not reading badly translated cards.
Right.
So you're not getting misinformation and you're not going by that. So they were like, look, we've got a plan and we'll tell you about it next week. Okay, but for now, just take this and just wait. Okay?
Yeah. So
And then, yeah, go ahead.
that's basically what this article here outlines. Um, they're pretty much just saying like spoiler season is going to be a little different here. They gave pretty much the exact dates that they're going to be releasing things. Um, and then at the very end saying we have a super secret project associated with Dominaria that involves a fun new way to play Magic. We have already planned to talk about it, but now we can talk about it using Dominaria cards as an example. So we'll call that Silver Lining.
Which that ended up turning out to be Brawl, which we'll talk about later.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But then a few days later, Aaron Forsyth posted on an article being like, hey, so here's our plan. Here's the layout and how we're going to do everything. And they're going to start the, actual stuff on the 21st of this month. So, they've been doing this for 6 days already.
Mm-hmm.
and they've been talking about it. And at the very end of his article, he's like, "We were going to do this now, but we were going to go and just give you everything and just do that." But some people said, "Hey, we can still enjoy the spoiler season because not everything has been spoiled, like the artwork or the actual cards.
Yeah.
Like how the cards look. They just have this, text and a name right now."
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think
like, okay,
a lot of what makes a card is the art, obviously. So, and for a lot of people, for some people, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
So there is still a spoiler season to be had, especially. And I know that there's a lot of people that have probably gone and dissected the set and like have been starting to read every card and figure out the new combos, what new like standards are going to be, what it's going to be good in Commander, this and that and the other thing. But as far as I'm concerned, I haven't read every card. I know what some of the cards do, sure, and there's a lot of good stuff from what I can tell. But I'm still looking on Mythic every day.
Yeah.
For the like, oh, what's this gonna look like? After I've read it, what's it gonna look like?
The release notes didn't have every single card in the set in it, so we're still getting brand new cards.
Yeah, I wonder what we haven't gotten, because we got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of stuff.
Well, I mean, we've gotten 159 cards, 249, so we probably don't have a lot of the commons and uncommons.
Yeah.
And probably a good deal.
A lot of the stuff that we normally wouldn't get till the last day anyway.
Right.
And that we don't really care about.
But at the end of his article, he gave us a card called Phyrexian Scriptures and was like, "Hey, just to give you something that you guys haven't seen yet, here you go." And boy, is this a card.
Yeah. So this is Phyrexian Scriptures. 2 and 2 black, so 4 for an enchantment saga.
Ooh.
And the rules text at the top reads, "As this saga enters, and after your draw step, add a lore counter. Sacrifice after 3." So as soon as you play this, you put a lore counter on it, and then after each draw step after that, you put another lore counter on it.
Right.
So when you put the first lore counter on it, put a +1/+1 counter on up to one target creature. That creature becomes an artifact in addition to its other types. So that's very Phyrexian. It's very Phyrexian.
Yes.
And so at 2 lore counters, destroy all non-artifact creatures.
I mean,
okay.
Seems okay.
And then at 3, exile all cards from all opponents' graveyards. So this protects one thing, kills everything else, and then kills it even more. Well, and then kills all of your opponent's stuff even more. And I have to say, the way that they laid out this card here with essentially making the text and the image vertical instead of horizontal is a really cool way to distinguish these new types of enchantments. I also think that
the sagas that we've actually officially seen now look sweet.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you'll definitely see more of that in our set review series. So there's one other thing that Brandon informed me of about Dominaria that we know so far, and it has to do with the Buy a Box promo. So tell all the fans about the Buy a Box promo for Dominaria.
So while Wizards was announcing all of this stuff, and they were like, "Hey," and also it came with a little known tidbit. I don't know if everybody knows about it right now, but if you buy a box or pre-order a box from your LGS, you can pick it up a week early.
Oh, really?
And this
I didn't know that.
Official, yep. You go to it's only pre-release weekend.
Oh.
If you don't pick it up during pre-release weekend, you have to wait.
Huh.
Yep. But if you pre-order a box or however much you plan on buying, go to pre-release weekend, you can get your stuff early.
Huh.
And it's
more you know.
Yep. I mean, I plan on taking advantage of that.
Sure.
So, but at the end of that video where they post like they did do with all the sets, they have a video that just plays of the world and world building and stuff like that. And at the end of it, they were like, "Hey, you can get this card if you buy a box." It means just it's your Buy a Box promo. You're right. We have those every set. No big deal.
Get an exclusive Fire Song and Sunspeaker promo only for Buy a Box. Buy a Box
right,
rewards.
and then I mean, when I seen it the first time, I didn't think anything about it because I mean that's sweet.
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
I'll pick up that Buy a Box promo, sure.
Yeah.
Wonder what the actual art for the card looks like, but no. As it turns out, in order to get Fire Song and Sunspeaker, you have to buy a box or buy it secondhand.
So, Firesong and Sunspeaker is not in Dominaria.
No.
Is it listed as being in Dominaria? Like, I wonder, like, once it hits Gatherer, if it'll be listed as being in Dominaria. I see it has the set symbol and the watermark and everything, but it seems weird for it to be said that it's in the set, but you can't actually get it in the set.
If you look at its card on Mythic Spoiler, its collector's number is 280 out of 269.
What?
Yep. So take that with what you will. All right, you see that, right? I'm not being crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right.
Out of 269.
Yeah, I mean it shows that in the article too. But
I don't have the article open.
Yeah, 280 out of 269.
I mean that probably includes cards that are in.
Yep, there you go.
The decks that come, the Planeswalker decks.
Oh, maybe you're right. So, interesting.
So yeah. So what do you think about that, Travis? About having to either buy a box or to buy it secondhand at probably a very high price?
I'll buy it at a high price. I think that the only way that this is going to cause trouble is if this happens and the card turns out to be very good.
Yeah.
For the same reason, remember when we had the discussion about the Planeswalker decks? About how there's going to be the one breakout Planeswalker that's just going to make that deck unpurchasable for a reasonable price.
Happened yet.
Yeah. So
I guarantee it will happen.
Perhaps this is just an experiment by WotC to see what happens. But I think they have to be very careful what card or cards that they make available exclusively through Buy a Box.
But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Is there?
I'm going to end up getting a copy because I'm buying a box anyway.
I'm sure that I'll get one because I like red white, and that card is pretty good as far as red white goes.
Oh yes.
All right.
Yes.
So it looks like one of our F&M promos this year here is going to be for Opt, the 1 blue mana instant to scry 1 and draw a card. That's some really good art for that.
Yeah, especially the framing for that looks fantastic.
And so
how they're doing that.
Yeah, definitely. That does look really good. Cast down. Next we get removal. All right. So cast. Oh my god. What happens if I do this? Oh, doesn't really matter. Cast down being 2 mana for an instant, destroy target non-legendary creature. That's pretty cool.
Got it.
So I'm actually really excited about this. I mean, I'll geek out about it a lot more. I love me some green-white legendaries. And Shauna Sisei's Legacy definitely has a place in some decks and not in others. But for at 1 green and 1 white for a 0/0 legendary creature Human Warrior, Shauna Sisei's Legacy can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponents control, and Shauna gets +1/+1 for each creature you control. This is a mechanic that we've seen time and time again, just on various creatures. But I don't know. I really like this card.
God.
And especially, gosh, look at that, man.
That promo art just is fantastic.
So good.
It's no different than the actual card art, but it's just,
it looks so darn good. Ooh, man, Store Championship. One of my favorite cards in the set. Steel Leaf Champion. 3 green for a 5/4 Elf Knight. Can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less.
Hey, maybe we'll go back to Theros and we'll have Devotion come back, and then that'll be like a great card to play.
Maybe we'll start playing Tiny Leaders again.
Maybe. Speaking of Tiny Leaders.
And then we have a Teferi playmat.
Yeah.
Anyway, you were saying, sorry.
Speaking of Tiny Leaders, there's a new Commander format that Wizards has come up with. Or if you read the article, a dude came up with that worked there and was like, hey.
Oh, crap.
You guys should try my new Commander format that everybody seems to love.
Who's everybody? I think he was
all
reaching.
His friends.
Yeah, all 5 of them. And what is that new Commander variant format, Brandon?
Let's just simplify this the best way to think about it. It's standard Commander. It's Commander that rotates. Can you tell I'm enthused about it?
So
I mean, I'm on Reddit all the time now, and I seen a comment about Brawl, and dude specifically said that he's pretty sure that it was made for Arena, and I was like, you know what, that makes a whole lot of sense. Putting
okay,
Brawl on Arena instead of Commander,
sure.
because it'd be easier to have a rotating Commander
Yeah.
format instead of one that encompasses the entire history of Magic.
So let's go over the rules for Brawl. Each player's deck is exactly 60 cards. Other than basic lands, no card may appear in a deck more than once. Each card must be legal in the standard format. Cards banned in the standard format can't be played in the Brawl variant. So it's tiny commander. Like not okay, tiny. That's a bad way because tiny leaders, but it's like just a smaller version of commander with a very limited card pool. You're just playing standard but commander.
Yeah, basically. I mean,
I could see enjoying watching this, like at like tournaments or something. You know,
right?
watching people cast it and stuff. You know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Before the game begins, each player designates one legendary creature or planeswalker card in their deck as their commander. This card begins the game in the command zone, and the other 59 are shuffled up.
They talk about the planeswalker thing further down in the article, but I think that's huge with what we've already found out that's going to be kind of this year's commander set, because they mentioned planeswalkers with this year's commander set.
Oh boy.
So.
Oh boy.
We'll see.
Continuing on, the mana symbols that appear on your commander dictate what cards may be played in your deck. Mana symbols that don't appear on your commander can't be in the deck. For example, if the Dominaria card of Firesong and Sunspeaker is your commander, your cards may have red, white, or both, or neither, but no black, green, or blue symbols may appear anywhere in your deck. Whew, that was a mouthful. This includes cards' text boxes as well as its mana cost. For example, Pride Sovereign from Hour of Devastation. Whoop, there we go. Set can't be in your deck if your commander has only green, and that's because the activated ability of Pride Sovereign does require white. Each player begins the game at 30 life rather than 20. If you're playing a multiplayer game, which we recommend for Brawl, each player draws 7 cards on their first mulligan, and the player who plays first draws a card on their first turn.
Sound familiar?
Interesting. As long as your commander is in the command zone, you may cast it from there. Doing so costs an additional 2 mana for each time you have cast that card this game. If your commander is countered or leaves the battlefield, you may put it back into the command zone instead of putting it anywhere else it would go. The Brawl variant has no other rules of playing, winning, or losing the game. Have fun, so no commander damage.
Yep.
So I want to say it's a dumbed down version of Commander.
Yeah, I was about to say a simplified version of Commander.
Oh, that's a more political way of saying it. So perhaps I should have said it that way. Like I said,
I mean, maybe we'll try it out.
I mean, like for example, when we cube, we play with smaller decks, and I kind of actually like that. But if I ever wanted to play with a smaller deck, playing Commander, I would. Well, I mean, as far as amongst our play group, I would just suggest, hey, let's build commander decks with only 60 cards.
Or just play tiny leaders.
I know, right? Yeah, I don't know.
Because tiny leaders can still be really fun, even though nobody plays it anymore.
But what this does tell us is they are at least willing to entertain the ideas of commander variants.
Right.
Which is really cool. Because the first step was getting them to entertain the idea of commander at all. Which they did, and it's been hugely popular.
It's been one of their most popular things.
Yeah, so now that we have this one, it's like, what's next? So, oh, look at Gavin Verhey. that guy seemed like a very nice guy, but also a little awkward. It has come.
The art for Firesong and Speaker is pretty sweet.
It's quite good. There it is. There's the big one. But yeah, I mean, I'm willing to see. I want to see if they end up eventually just releasing Brawl decks.
Yeah.
And I kind of wonder if it'll be in a similar way to how they did Clash packs.
Oh yeah,
You know,
I
doesn't
like the Clash decks.
doesn't that kind of make sense though? Like, wouldn't
Hmm.
that be a cool way to do it?
Yeah.
Just in sets of two,
Um.
and then there you go.
Yeah. The only thing I'm probably the most worried about this is that, normally if you had a super high price card in standard, for commander, you'd wait for it to rotate out and, you know, but now you'll have to wait to get it for about forever because you'll have to wait for it to rotate out to begin with, even if it is just super popular in this new format. It's going to raise the price even more because you're going to want it for standard.
Because yeah,
if
now
it's
there's
super good.
multiple formats that want it.
Yeah. And now
Multiple,
you're going to want it
yeah,
for Brawl if it becomes huge.
yeah.
So,
Especially if they start doing actual like DCI sanction type things,
right.
you know, or like come to the whatever Denver Grand Prix and play Brawl. That's the
Brawl
format
is
for
the
this
main
Grand
event
Prix. Yeah, exactly. But again,
with
I would love to
standard side
see.
events.
I would love to see a nice like the finals of the Pro Tour where
Yeah.
people are casting it. It's just like really nice high quality because it would be as close to that type of stuff for Commander as we could get thus far.
Right. But in the article, they mentioned that, this is a thing and they feel like standard could work because taking Ixalan as an example,
Oh yeah,
you could
do it.
easily
Yeah.
build a commander deck based off of just the tribes in Ixalan.
For sure.
And it would be a pretty coherent deck.
Yeah.
But you can't really do that in Commander. I mean, you can, but you've got all your other stuff that's your filler, that's your staples for the deck anyway.
Yeah. What I'm gonna say though is just seeing how many legendary creatures are in Dominaria,
Mm-hmm.
it opens up tons of possibilities for Commander. It opens up a ton of possibilities for Brawl, and I can't wait to see what happens in the next set. Like I haven't even read every card in this set yet, and I'm already excited for the next one. It's kind of like the feeling. I'm starting to get the feeling like I did when I first started reading through everything from Ixalan. Just getting really
Right.
excited because I don't know. It seems like the past few blocks have been a little rickety,
Yeah.
But
Ixalan was good.
when Ixalan came out, I feel like we may be on a little bit of an uptick.
Right.
But
And now, we're in the era of we're just visiting planes once unless they can make out multiple sets of it and have it still be a great set and not be hindered by it being set in the same place. So I think it was confirmed that we aren't having two sets of Dominaria, and this is just the one set. We're going somewhere else later in the year.
man, crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are going to be diving head first into Dominaria spoiler season very soon. It's going to be very similar to how we did our Rivals of Ixalan set review, where each color was its own video, which gave us a little bit of extra time to go over the cards that we thought were worth going over for Commander and any other honorable mentions that we may have. And that's coming real soon. So I really hope that everyone has enjoyed the return of Commanding Magic. It is season 3. I'm really happy to be back. It's kind of one of those things where it was kind of hard for me to want to get back on the horse. But once I got back on the horse, I was super stoked again,
Yep.
But yeah, that's all I got. You have anything else?
I don't think so. It's good to be back. I mean, I'm winding down on. I'm getting about everything I have wanted to do on WoW, so it's about the time to start to pick something else back up.
Shift the focus just a little bit.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's going to do it here for Season 3, Episode 1 of Commanding Magic. Make sure to check us out on social media, Facebook, Twitter. Give us a like, comment, subscribe on the old YouTube channel. Stay tuned. Season 3 is going to be pretty big. We are going to have more Hedron Archive. We're going to have the grand revealing of CM Showdown, which is going to be our gameplay-centric show on the channel. And, new spoilers. Everything like we used to do. We're just trying to come back, doing it just a little bit better than we did in Season 2.
I have a tripod this time.
Yes.
So
All right.
I have better viewing of the playmat.
So some more high quality gameplay in store for you guys. We'll catch you guys next time. And until then, it's going to be Travis and Brandon returning to the command zone.
How about now?
How about now? How about that?
Can you hear me now?
Turn your volume down. How about that?